Might stay hot, no stopping, no flopping. Lawn chair sports where the chat runs wild. Pull up, tune in, it's the podcast style.
All right, welcome back to Lawn Chair Sports. This week we have some electric topics. Okay, we have college football selections, Notre Dame out, Miami going in over them. Notre Dame decided that they didn't want to play a bowl game. We're going to talk that. We're talking NFL, absolutely electric week. Huge Bills game against Burrow in the snow. Patriots continue to roll. A lot more going on in the NFL. Some key injuries for friends of the program, so we'll talk about that. And then we got some crazy nonsense. We got Candace Owens going absolutely nuts on Twitter. We're going to touch on that. And we have Trump wanting to rename the game of football. So hang in tight. It's going to be a pretty good episode. Thanks for sticking along with us. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Follow us. We're grateful for every single follower. It allows us to continue doing what we're doing for you guys. So, Andy, off the bat, electric Friday night that we had.
Well, it was an electric Friday night. I mean, we're kind of getting into that Christmas spirit. There's a nice little holiday market in town. We scoped that out. I mean, we got some local beers. You know, we drank beers at a mini golf place. We kind of did it all. Went to a Christmas-themed bar. Like, it was just, I don't know. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
We did everything that St. Pete has to offer at this time of year.
We really did.
We did. Let's start off. Shedeur Sanders. We've been high on Shedeur Sanders for a long time now. And he just continues to absolutely dominate. But Stefanski, and I think me and you talked off camera, but let's talk on camera about it. Stefanski clearly hates Shedeur Sanders at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see. Like, what this kid had to do to even get on the field to begin with, I feel like he had to put in about 10 times the work any other young quarterback would. He gets in. He's a revelation. This kid was absolutely shredding the Tennessee Titans. He threw for 5 touchdown passes, 92% completion, over 480 yards. Throws an absolute dime for what appears to be potentially the game-tying touchdown pass. They need a 2-point conversion. He's pulled off the field.
Pulled off. And then my thing is with, especially when they get down in the red zone like that, an important game, it's 2-point conversion. Your guy just led you on an 80-yard drive down the field for a game-tying touchdown. Leave him on the field. I feel like it was a directed attack of Shedeur and his confidence in Shedeur. And all he did all game was to prove that he should be out there in a critical moment. Judkins gets the ball, forgets to pitch it, or whatever the hell happened on that fake Wildcat reverse that they were going to do. Cleveland should be ashamed of themselves. A lot of people are saying they were tanking on purpose just to get a better draft pick against Tennessee. I don't know what happened, but I know this. We thought Shedeur was a good quarterback. He goes out there. Not only does he have one of the best games ever, he gets to 300 yards in one single game before your boy Drake May gets to 300 yards in a single game. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's impressive. I mean, we're looking at Shedeur Sanders. He's doing a lot with a little. And I think he might even be a better player than probably either of us realized early on. I mean, he's getting in there. He's looking like a pro. I believe he's the best quarterback drafted in the last 5 to, I mean, realistically, since Lamar Jackson was picked in 2018. I mean, this kid looks like an absolute stud. And the gadget play was bizarre in that spot. I mean, you just need 2 points to tie it up. Weird time for it. And when you take the quarterback off the field, you kind of show your hand. So I feel like if the quarterback is in the game, maybe you can. The Titans knew something was up. And as far as, I mean, were they tanking because they want to preserve their draft pick? That could be. But to me, tanking when you have your franchise quarterback is a little bit pointless. Yes, you can still get other good players. You can always trade the picks, but I don't know. I think when you have your quarterback of the future, it's kind of bad juju to be tanking games late in the season. They should be trying to establish a winning culture with Shedeur Sanders.
You know, when we first started this podcast about 3 months ago now, we may have in jest been talking about Shedeur Sanders a little bit. Just a little bit. We were big on him, but, you know, we kind of maybe exaggerated some things with Shedeur. And everything that we've kind of said has actually come to fruition, and it's kind of nuts. You know, we said that there was some sort of conspiracy against him to not be able to play in the NFL, and it's looking like that actually might be the case. Because all this guy has done the whole time has been positive. He's had a good attitude. He's been a great teammate. People in the locker room seem to love him. And then he gets his shot. He wins his first game. And then everyone in the media said, oh, he's not good enough. He was Mr. King check down. All right. Second game, just outmatched by the team they were playing. And then in his third game, he proved that there's something there. There's a spark there. Over 300 yards for a rookie quarterback doesn't happen often. So I'm excited for Shedeur, excited for the Sanders family. But there's clearly something going on with the Haslam family and Stefanski. I think it goes a lot deeper than football. And unfortunately, Shedeur is a victim of being in Cleveland because that has not worked out for the last 48 people.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Browns, you have to move on from Kevin Stefanski this offseason because the Browns franchise in their entire history, they've been looking for this franchise quarterback who's reliable and can win them some football games. They've got it. That's the hardest piece to find. To me, it's much easier to find a competent coach than it is a franchise quarterback. They finally have that missing piece. Stefanski's been there, 6 or so years now. It's time for something new, and it's they just need a breath of fresh air in Cleveland.
I agree. Might they even need a guy who's known for turning around programs before? A very big college coach name.
Oh.
I'm talking Neon Dion. Put him in. I'm talking prime time to Cleveland. That city would be selling out every single game if prime time was there with his son. That would be the best plot twist in NFL history. And I think you can get Donald Trump to sign off on something like that.
Well, that is true. Yeah, Trump, he was a believer from the start. He was very high on Shedeur Sanders, and he tried to tell us.
He did, and he knows talent when he sees it. He almost bought an NFL team.
That's true.
But NFL's wild all over the place. Again, last night, Kansas City, they dropped to 6-7 after their loss to Houston. They now just have a 15% chance of making the playoffs.
Wow.
And Mahomes is a shadow of himself. He threw 3 interceptions and had a career low passer rating of 19.8. Are the Chiefs done?
I think this year's team is done. 15% chance to make the playoffs is crazy. I never thought they'd be 6-7. We're going to hit on it later, but I feel like the Colts are about to free fall out of the playoffs. Maybe that opens up a spot for the Chiefs to sneak in. I would never write them off until they're completely dead and buried, but it doesn't look right. Kelsey's completely washed. Mahomes doesn't look like the same player. Mm-hmm. It's like you thought the pieces around him might slip, but this guy's going to be a stud. He has not been the same guy at all this year. So I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, well, that's not fair. Look at what's around him. Blah, blah. You know what? Sometimes it's actually just the quarterback's fault when they're not playing well.
100%.
And, even Andy Reid is losing his mind. He might be ready for the retirement home. He's going for it in a tie game, on his own 31-yard line. That's the move you make when you're confident in your offense and not your defense. It's like this year's Chiefs team is the exact reverse. You trust the defense. The offense is shaky. That's where you punt. It
was a bad call. I don't know why you do that. Their defense had been stopping them all game. They should have just punted it, played some D, and gotten the ball back, which the Chiefs are really good at under pressure and pressure times too. So that was surprising to see. But I think the real fall off here is Travis Kelce, his receivers. They couldn't catch anything. Mahomes just dancing around, forcing stuff down the field deep. As a Bills fan, there's been nothing better to see than this other than Brady tear his ACL back in 2011. This is one of my favorite downfalls I've ever seen. And I'm here for a Chiefs downfall, man. I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I love it. I think it's pretty great. Andy Reid, just absolute bonehead move. Kelsey's looking like every bit of 36. And with the Chiefs going down, the Broncos are going up. They are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. I can't believe any of you out there would be picking Broncos at the beginning of this year to be the number 1 seed. I'm looking at camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. There's none of you had the Broncos this year. So Broncos are looking good, but are they actually for real is the question.
I believe they are. I believe these Broncos are for real. And this is a weird year in the NFL. Not really a lot of teams are standing out as that dominant team. For me, it really matters who gets the number 1 seed. If the Broncos get the 1 seed, they have home field advantage throughout. That's gonna mean a lot because we're not big on analytics on this program, but if you get the 1 seed, you only have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. The teams without the bye, they need to win 3. So that's 50% more games if you don't get the bye. Especially they would have home field throughout. Denver is tough to play, especially in the postseason. They're a complete team. A lot of people are going to look at Bo Nix and say, Bo Nix, is he really going to beat Josh Allen or one of these better quarterbacks? First of all, other than Josh Allen, a lot of the usual suspects probably won't be in the playoffs this year. I mean, even the Ravens are kind of hanging on by a thread. It's not your normal field of AFC juggernauts, and the better quarterback doesn't always win.
No, I mean, look at the Ravens with Trent Dilfer. You got the Buccaneers with Brad Johnson. Quarterback is a piece of the puzzle, but we all know that when it comes to cold weather football in the playoffs, especially Mile High in Denver, you need a good defense. And the Broncos have a damn good defense. They're well coached, and they're going to play good game management football and pound that ball down people's throats. And that is and has been a very good success metric. Also, if I keep doing the thing where I'm looking down, it's because I just wolfed down about a pound of ground beef before this.
Ooh, how was that?
Delicious.
Oh, are you taking on the Jordan Peterson diet?
I am on the Jordan Peterson diet now, where I'm on his daughter's diet.
Okay.
Yeah. I only eat meat.
There you go. How do you feel about the energy levels?
Well, I wasn't energized before.
Huh.
So if I'm not energized now, it's just the same.
Right. Just really no negative impact to the energy
And
levels.
I just started it like tonight.
I mean, if you ate a carb heavy meal, you might be crashing right now.
I would be crashing. I'm actually pretty pumped up. I feel like I drank a Celsius. So.
There you go. Yeah, I think the Broncos are legit. We got to see what happens down the stretch, though.
We'll see. All right, I got to talk about this team. You know, their playoff hopes are absolutely done, but and by they, I mean the New Orleans Saints, okay, put in their backup rookie quarterback who everyone thought was a bum. Everyone on Twitter in the offseason was showing videos of him throwing it into the ground. You know how to pronounce his name. It is
Tyler Shuck.
That's right. And this guy, all he's done is come in and absolutely turn some heads because the New Orleans Saints are winning football games. 92% of people in their pick'em leagues on CBS Sports picked the Bucks in this game to win. And New Orleans just had an absolute stunner again. Number one, the Bucks look like they're in trouble, but more importantly, the Saints might have found their QB for the future.
Yeah, it's really a stunner. I mean, this guy was not taken with a high pick. You thought he was just maybe a bridge guy, if anything. Saints winning some football games, doing it with very little. They got Kellen Moore at the helm. I like that hire. He was a great coordinator in Philly and even in Dallas beforehand. So that's big for them. Kind of tough loss for the Bucks. They're now below 500. You would think this sinks them, but they play in the NFC South. They're trailing the Panthers right now. It's coming on the wire. I'm still not giving up on these crazy Bucks. I think if they get everybody back and healthy, they could be dangerous. I look at the way Baker is playing the first part of the season. Mike Evans could come back soon. So I don't doubt the Bucks can make some noise, but I mean, they got to get in.
Listen, Baker's a good quarterback. He's going to turn this team around. I think they make a push right at the end. Listen, you don't want to be steaming midseason. You don't want to be hitting your stride midseason. You want to wait till the end. Evans is going to be coming back. It sounds like he's going to be coming back next week or the week after, just in time. He won't get his 1,000 yards that he has the streak, but he's going to give the Bucks a good chance to be in playoff contention. And I think if they get in, they go on a nice run. So look out for the Bucks. They're not done yet. Panthers would be absolutely insane if they win that division, but that division is, man, just such an interesting wash of a division.
Yeah, it can be a tough watch.
All right, Myles Garrett. All right, I know we already talked about Cleveland, but this guy is honing in on the sack record. He is an absolute animal out there. I have watched a lot of people play defense in my day. I used to play football, played against a lot of good defenders. This guy is a freak of freaking nature. The power that this guy is able to generate off the snap with the speed and the first step and then his maneuverability around these tackles, the world has never seen this. Lawrence Taylor makes this guy look twice the size. I mean, Myles Garrett is unbelievable. His videos in the offseason of him just dunking without even running to start, this guy, it puts this guy in a class of probably 1 to 10 people in the world with this kind of freakish athleticism. So I'm excited for Myles. I think he's a baby on the sidelines with Cleveland, and he signed with them knowing they were going to be that bad and then complains about them being bad. But it'll be cool to see him get the sack record.
Yeah, you kind of pulled the NBA special there where you just sign the max extension and then say how much you hate playing in that city. But this guy is an absolute freaking beast. I'm pumped to see him get the sack record. He's a freak of nature. He might be the best defensive player in the game right now. And it's interesting looking back. You know, we talked before, the Browns, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback forever. And in the 2017 draft, they held the number 1 pick. They selected Myles Garrett. Who was taken later in that draft? Patrick Mahomes. But yet, Myles Garrett is such a freaking beast. I've never heard anybody give the Browns a hard time for not taking Patrick Mahomes with that pick. Kind of interesting. The franchise never has a quarterback. Passes on one of the best to ever do it. I don't know who their quarterback was at the time. It was probably someone not very good. It's someone on the
long list of jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, 100%. No, the Browns. Listen, it gives the fans something to root for and watch the games. That's all they really have left this season. Well, and of course Shador ascending. But the other game of the week was the Bills in the snow. Josh Allen had some freakish plays. The one play where he rolled out to the right, deked out a defender, paused, and just slung it on a line to Shakir in the end zone for a touchdown was one of the best throws I've ever seen an NFL or college quarterback ever make. This guy is heating up while Buffalo's getting colder. I think the Bills have positioned themselves to make a good run in the playoffs despite their lack of talent on defense.
Yeah, I mean, this game was awesome. I love a good snow game, so it was great to see this one. It started out as a great shootout between the quarterbacks. I mean, Allen, Burrow, they were going back and forth. Allen had a few freakish plays. I thought maybe his best throw was a ball that's actually dropped by Dawson Knox in the end zone. And it looked like it was kind of juggled on the sideline. He didn't secure it, but, I mean, he was rolling out. He was fitting balls in small windows. Yeah, the ball to Shakir was just absolutely insane.
It didn't make any sense.
It kind of reminded me of the playoff game these teams played in the snow 3 years ago. I know you probably didn't love that one.
No.
Fun fact, I drove down to my buddy's house to watch playoff football, but I was supposed to drive home before, it was like an hour away. I was supposed to drive home before the start of that game because there was going to be a big rainstorm, and one of my windshield wipers was broken, but I was so fired up and didn't want to miss any of the game that I just stayed and watched it. Then I drove home in a downpour with a broken windshield wiper. Could only really see out of half my windshield. I just drove in the far right lane with my flashers on, probably 10 to 15 below the speed limit. I just kept thinking this would be such a dumb way to die, but I couldn't miss a wild affair like that.
No, you couldn't miss Joe Burrow beating Josh Allen in Buffalo. No, you're right. They did show a picture of the game during the game, and I thought it was a picture from the first half because it looked the exact same.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. Yeah, Burrow has been 2-0 against Allen, so Allen really needed this in their little weird QB comparison. I've heard a lot of chatter on Twitter after the game that Joe Burrow is a better overall quarterback than Josh Allen, but that Josh is a better playmaker. And I want to just end that conversation now. Joe Burrow had one run to the AFC Championship, and honestly, it was mainly because of his defense. It really wasn't because of Joe Burrow. And it's funny that a lot of these quarterbacks, right, they don't win the big game, and then all they get the chatter is, can't be a lead unless he wins the big game. But every now and then they'll pick a quarterback who doesn't have to win the big game to be considered great. And Joe Burrow is one of those guys. Not only does he not win the big game, he's been consistently bad with the Bengals the last 3 years. They have not been a good team. Yeah,
it's actually crazy. Joe Burrow, he doesn't have nearly as great of a record with the Bengals as you would imagine. I mean, they've had some down years, and yeah, the Super Bowl run was great, but he was carried by an elite defense and offensive line. It's like when your team's loaded, it's easy to get it done. I mean, as a Joe Burrow hater, you must have kind of loved how it unfolded. He pretty much melted down at the end of the game, picks on back-to-back passes. I was thinking of you during that.
I couldn't believe he threw that interception to Benford. I mean, it looked like he shot put the ball in the air. I don't even know what was going through his head. It made me think, I'm like, this guy's making too much money to throw the game like that. Too obvious, right? I mean, he literally took the ball and just like shot put it in the air, and he just caught it and ran for a touchdown. Very excited. I was like, oh no, they're going to come down and score. Next play, he gets batted, and Epinesa catches it. I'm like, this is a bad 2-snap stretch.
And then Burrow, after all that, had the gall after the game to say, this is the time I'm calling out the organization. Said, things are going to have to change around here. Things are going to have to change. Maybe start by cleaning up those back-to-back picks.
I mean, you don't throw those 2 picks, and the organization wins. So, yeah, you might want to start with yourself there, buddy. Not a good look for Burrow there.
T. Higgins had a really good catch in this game, too.
Oh, my God. The one-hander was sick.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he's a beast. He reminds me a lot of George Pickens. I feel like him and George Pickens play a similar receiver game where they can either have a horrible game or they're going to ball out and make some catches that you've never seen before. But then you watch a guy like Chase and Jefferson, and it feels like no matter who the quarterback is, what the game is, they're always going to get their 100 yards. So it's a weird dichotomy of these elite receivers and then kind of superstar receivers. Because I would consider Pickens and Higgins superstars because they're that good and they're getting paid. But that top tier just does it consistently. And they almost make it look easier too. They're just so wide open. They don't even need to make the circus catches because they've created so much separation. So it's fun to watch, though. It's definitely fun to watch. I will say, so I put this is aside from the notes here. I just got a Facebook message from Marketplace.
Oh.
I was going through my closet trying to get rid of some of my clothes, and I have this oversized, like, triple XL Tommy Bahama shirt. And I was like, I'm just going to give this to Goodwill. And I was like, you know what? It's a nice shirt. So I posted, it's like a real janky photo. And I was like, all right, $15. Someone can just take this shirt.
They make good stuff.
They do. It's a nice shirt. But this guy, he's been hammering me on Marketplace. He messaged me last week. And he's like, I will take the shirt. And I said, okay, great. That's amazing. So I was like, do you want to come get it tonight? He's like, I cannot come get it tonight. This is last Wednesday. He's like, I will get it Friday. And I was like, all right, I'll meet you Friday and get it. So this guy, I think, has planned his whole last week to get this shirt on Friday.
Yeah.
And you know what happened Friday? I got home from work and we went out.
That's right.
And he was messaging me all night. He was very upset. Let me read some of these messages. His name is Greg. His name is Greg.
We love Greg.
He's sent me 10 messages. Okay. I can come Friday. I said, that works. That's where we left it. But didn't even get a meet point. And then he said, my cell is blah, blah, blah. And then he said, at 8 a.m., coming today. At 4 o'clock, he said, hello. At 7:30, he said, good day. I'm still coming. And then at 8:30, he said, then he's like, all right, let me know. This is at 8:30. And then I didn't message him. And then he messaged me the next morning, hello. No shirts yet. I didn't respond. And then he just messaged me again, hello. So, you know what? Good on Greg. I might hire him as a sales guy because he's very persistent.
He is persistent.
And I respect that.
Well, I feel like that's the one thing that's tough about Facebook Marketplace or selling things on Craigslist. It's like usually, depending on what it is, if it's a clothing item or an older piece of furniture, the amount that you're trying to get back, it's so small that it's almost not even worth your time to arrange meeting up with a stranger. Like the last time I made a major move, I wanted to get some money back for a bunch of my crap, but who's going to pay more than, 10, 15, 20 bucks for used furniture or random household crap? So, I mean, I was just selling things for pennies on the dollar and just arranging to meet up with random Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace people. It was so not worth it. I feel like I probably spent 7 to 8 hours on that in total to recoup about 115 bucks. It's like people are irrational in that sense.
It's crazy how much time I've put in for that $15 and how quickly I can spend $15 when I go out. So the money calculation and time calculation has not been there, and I need to stop selling small items on Marketplace. You're right, it is not worth it. I had a guy, though. I was selling a golf net. It was like a really expensive one, but I think I paid like $800 for it. But I was like, you know what? I just want this thing out of my garage. I just want it out of my garage. We're shooting the pods in here. I got to clean up this place. So I listed it for like $300. Oh my God, I got like 1,000 messages. But anyway, this one guy was like, all right, I can come get it. So I got it. He brought this big car. And he told me that he was giving the net because he works with Down syndrome children who need help. So I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, I feel good about it. And then he was like, yeah, do you have anything else to donate? Dude, I gave this guy probably $2,000 worth of stuff from my garage.
That's awesome.
Completely free. I gave him a pizza oven, like an $800 pizza oven.
You gave that away?
Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
This was like 2 weeks ago.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I gave him
Those are quality ovens, too.
It was a really nice one. I was like, just get out of here, man. I don't use it. You can have it. And he was like, really? I'm like, just take it. I gave him a bunch of shit. The only thing he wouldn't take, though, is that steel. That's like a cooking thing that goes over a regular oven.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watching wants a steel grate cover for their indoor oven or stovetop, let me know.
See, I feel like the Tommy Bahama shirt is what you give away. The pizza oven is the one you try to get some money back for.
I know, but at the time I was getting a rush by giving it away because I was like, man, this is great. My garage is getting cleaned so quick. I will say, I did get a message from a guy about an hour later who's like, hey, do you still have that net? And I'm like, I don't. He's like, you didn't sell it for $300, did you? I'm like, I did. He's like, he literally goes, you're a fucking idiot.
Ooh.
I would have paid you $800 in cash for it. And I was like, all right, well, I can give you the guy's name if you want. Like, I don't know, man. I don't have the net anymore. So
that'd be an interesting deal.
yeah. So maybe that guy made some money. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, good weekend. You know what else was really good this weekend was the college sport.
Oh yeah.
Oh, college sports, college football. College football is heating up right now. We told you we were going to talk about it. Let's get right into it. The biggest story of the week was Notre Dame supposedly getting snubbed by the College Football Playoff Committee. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I get why they're upset. They didn't play. Miami didn't play. And Miami just leapfrogs Notre Dame. It's an imperfect system. I mean, there's no perfect way to do it. No one's going to be happy with this college football playoff selection. But I'm tired of the we're not in a conference thing. It's not endearing. It's stupid. Look, nothing's sacred anymore. We got Oregon in the Big Ten. I mean, the Pac-12 basically doesn't even exist anymore. We got teams from all over the country. It's like Notre Dame, it was a cute little tradition. You didn't have a conference. Join a conference, okay? You're holding yourself back for pretty much no reason. And, yeah, I mean, the ESPN panel, they were pretty upset about it. I mean, Nick Saban and others just, you honestly would have thought a relative in their family died hearing, a major program like Notre Dame be left out. They're upset. They're not even going to play in their bowl game now. I mean, hey, Notre Dame. Figure it out.
It's an absolute jip, man. I think they're too busy with their stupid traditions, like you said. I think they're a little smarter than that, though. I don't think it has anything to do with traditions. I think they know if Notre Dame joined a conference that they get their ass handed to them 3 or 4 times a year. I feel like every single time Notre Dame gets in and plays a big game on national TV that means something, they lose. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not watching all the games probably, but I feel like Notre Dame is one of the most overhyped programs in American football history. And they get one movie that's good about them, and then they become famous. Who cares about Rudy, man? So that's the only thing that they're known for. And they've had no good quarterbacks since, I don't even know, Brady Quinn?
Notre Dame quarterback. I can't even think of anyone that
Riley Leonard?
in the NFL. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of out of control. But what a dirtbag move by Freeman not playing in the bowl game. You got to understand, as a football player, many of us who are retired, we would give our left leg to play in one more football game, to play one more snap. He robbed these seniors of their last football game ever. There's a lot of good experiences and friendships and experiences that happen at a bowl game too. You get to fly to the hotel, you get a lot of merch from the bowl. Notre Dame fans would want to watch another game even if it didn't mean something. Give the younger guys a chance to get some stuff on film, and you're robbing all of these people of 3 weeks of practice, which is just development. I really don't understand the move of them not playing in the bowl game. I feel like it's a very petty response to it, and there's just no need for the pettiness. At the end of the day, the only people that they can blame is themselves. Miami beat them head to head, and they had one common opponent, and Miami beat them by more. And so, to be honest, the destiny was in your hands the whole time, and you guys lost the game. You have to take ownership of that.
Yeah, it's crazy to see. I have very little sympathy for Notre Dame on a day like today. And it just stinks because I feel like we're seeing the death of the bowl season that I remember. Like, I loved at the very end of the year just tuning on these random bowls. All the names were hilarious. They were colleges that you'd maybe never even heard of. But it was cool because basically if you finished above 500, you got to play in one of these games. You had a chance to end your season with a win. I think the college football playoff is a cool thing, but now teams basically view it as if you're not in the playoff, who cares about the bowl?
Right.
And they just need to address the whole end of the college football season. It's so sloppy. We talked about it last time with coaches being on the move, where they're not, a team gets to the playoff, they're not going to coach in the playoff. All these types of things. It's just, we need to conclude the season in a neat manner and then address everything in the offseason. It's just like, imagine if the NFL, you played out 90% of the season and then there was just all this shuffling going on.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. It is kind of sad.
No, they need to get on the same page and kind of package it all together and put a bow on it at the end of the season. You got a good point there. With these teams not being in conferences, some of the conferences not having game, it's bizarre and it doesn't help the fans. And at the end of the day, if you're going to make it about business, you need to keep the fans happy, and the fans don't like this. Unless all this controversy actually just drives attention. Maybe that's what they're going for. But Another great story that we can talk about in this is a little team you're familiar with.
That's right.
A little school out of a state that's not really known for football. JMU is going to the college football playoff as an alum and a big-time donor.
That's right.
How do you feel about this for your school?
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm on cloud nine. I mean, it was highly debated during my time at James Madison. Is it worth it to make the jump to FBS? They were an FCS powerhouse. They won 2 titles playing in the FCS. They went head-to-head with North Dakota State frequently. And it's gone better than I could have ever imagined. They're in the Sun Belt. It's year 4, and they're in the college football playoff. This is something I imagined down the road. I said, that's the goal, someday get to a college football playoff. I think it's great because there are probably a lot of people out there who have not heard of James Madison. Sometimes college sports is the best way to get your name out there as a university. I feel like this could reverse engineer giving my bachelor's degree value, which I like. So very big in that regard. I mean, it's very exciting. You did mention Virginia and football. Oddly enough, a lot of really good high school football players.
A lot of
come
good
from
high school
Virginia.
football players.
Yeah,
yes.
really good high school. And a lot of good colleges on the whole. Actually, funny enough, University of Virginia losing kind of opened up the door for it. They were a heavy favorite in the ACC championship. Right. Duke edged them out. I mean, it was just everything fell into place correctly. So we see 2 group of 5 teams, Tulane and JMU, getting the last 2 spots. I think it's pretty cool.
I have no problem with it because if you look back at some of the best years of college football, one of my most fond memories of watching college football, one of the best true college football moments was when Boise State won the Fiesta Bowl on the Statue of Liberty play.
Yeah.
And then the guy went on one knee and asked his girlfriend to marry him. It was a very, very special college football moment and one that gets played back all the time on ESPN. People should be embracing the little guy getting a shot because that's what kind of separates college from the NFL. In the NFL, there's so much parity. Really, anybody can beat anyone on any given day, but there's really just never that true underdog story. Let's embrace the underdog storyline. Sure, both teams might get spanked, but what if they don't? What if they don't? What if they keep it close? That game will mean more, and it'll be more fun to watch than it will Georgia versus Alabama for the 13th time out of the last 14 years. I'm sick and tired of all these big-time schools just thinking they have a right to be in the playoffs just based on their previous success. Every school should come into the season at a blank slate. There shouldn't be this preconceived notion of how good someone was in the past and that influencing their decision or picks in the future. If you're going to have all these teams be in the same league where it's D1, right, then everyone should have a shot to play. It shouldn't be like, all right, it's D1, but like, not actually.
Yeah.
Not for these guys. Well, then just make a separate league for them. Because there's no freaking point to have one league and then people get in. They're like, oh, but they're not good enough. BS. They did everything that was asked upon them to make it. So I think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. When they first rolled out the college football playoff, one of the criteria in it was program pedigree, which I feel like was just a blanket clause to make sure Alabama got in there every year. It was basically a blanket clause to make sure that whichever school was most profitable would be in there. People online were talking, what would it look like if the NFL had a college football playoff style? You know the Cowboys would be in there every single year, even in a down season. You know, they would just find a way to
100%.
And honestly, watching the college football selection show on ESPN, one, it was insulting to my time. I mean, they said it was coming on noon Eastern. They dragged it out. They talked to a reporter stationed at all of the schools that were on the bubble, got their thoughts there. I mean, there was a 4-person panel. Then they had 4 people zooming in, or, you know, in the panel on a Zoom call. I mean, Nick Saban was the saltiest guy I've heard in my entire life. Yeah, the guy's a legend, but he seemed like he was in tears that basically any school not in, other than Notre Dame or a school in the Big Ten, SEC, or a select ACC schools, was making it. I mean, without saying it, it killed him to see Tulane and JMU in there. And yeah, it's possible. I mean, I personally think Oregon's on upset alert, but Oregon might blow out JMU. You know, Tulane, they might get wiped away. But the thing is, for these small schools, getting to the college football playoff is like their Super Bowl. Because another thing is that both of these programs are losing their head coach. Like James Madison head coach Bob Chesney, he's going to UCLA to be the coach next year. Curt Cignetti was the coach at JMU 2 years ago. He moved on to Indiana. He brought at the time, the quarterback with him. So these schools, they're having these great years, but they're kind of still being used as stepping stones for the larger colleges to get their coaches and even more players. So you got to kind of give the smaller programs a little bit of incentive. It's even if James Madison won't be competitive in this college football playoff game, I mean, you got to make it worth it for them.
Yeah, and since there's no salary cap, I mean, it's already so heavily favored for these schools that have the pedigree and have the donors to be successful. So if they want any sort of parity in Division I college football, they need to keep these spots open, because if you're a player and you know there's zero chance of you playing in the playoffs, why go? Why go there? I mean, honestly, why would you go? I mean, every football player, I know it's about the money a little bit now, but at the end of the day, you want to win some football games. I mean, I think there's the true athletes out there still want to win. If you have no shot to even compete, you're not going to that school. And that's a nasty cycle if you get these bad schools to just be really bad and the top guys are really good. So I actually love the selections this year. I thought BYU probably deserved it a little bit more than Miami, but I am okay with Miami being in it. I do think that pedigree word probably held a little bit weight there, but it'll be a good playoff to watch. I'm excited. Hey, go JMU, man. I'm rooting for them. So
Yeah, can't wait for it.
we'll see what happens. I do want to touch on this too. It's same thing. So the ACC champion Duke not getting a shot though.
Yeah.
That seems odd to me.
No, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, weird season. They ended up in the ACC championship because of kind of a weird tiebreaker. It's based on, record within ACC games. So they ended up taking on Virginia. They were tied with Miami and a few others with 2 losses in ACC games. Duke ended up in it. It was pretty cool. I mean, we need to decide if we're going to do automatic bids or not for the major conference winners. I get the ACC being upset. I mean, it is weird having one school from your conference in it and it's not the conference champion. But I think a 5-loss Duke team would probably get wiped in the college football playoff.
Yeah, but I would love to see a 5-loss team get in and just absolutely. You think they're pissed with JMU and Tulane getting in? Oh my God, the floodgates would have opened, and I would have loved seeing all those college football purists just absolutely piss themselves on live TV. So I'm mad that I didn't get to witness that.
Yeah, could have been very cool. And the Duke head coach, I mean, his argument, he was kind of taking shots at James Madison. He basically said it's not even close. We played way better opponents than them. We had a harder strength schedule. I mean, if they're going to get in, we should be in there. But
Well, you lost 5 games, so you really shouldn't be in there. But whatever. Moving on to the NBA, the Thunder are now 22-1. Are they the best team we've ever seen in the NBA? Are they better than Golden State was with KD, Steph, and Green?
I don't know if I can go that far. I feel like that iteration of the Warriors was probably the best team I've ever seen. It's interesting they went 73-9 even before Durant. And I mean, a lot of people would call that the best team they've seen in the last 10 years. The Thunder are pretty freaking insane. I mean, 22-1, that's not nothing. I think the real question is, I mean, are they going to make a run at that 73-9 that Golden State put up?
I think as long as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is driving in the paint and he's able to just keep getting these calls, I think that streak will just continue. It's hard to defend them because they have so much depth across the board and they're young. A lot of these NBA teams now got the old aging superstars. They can't run with the Thunder. The Thunder are running and shooting and playing good defense, and it's tough to be. You got Chet Holmgren, 7'8" underneath the rim, just blocking everything away. You got Gilgeous-Alexander just pumping it down the floor. You got that weird guy Williams who makes all the threes.
Yep.
I mean, they're looking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely loaded. Multiple Jalen Williams on the roster. I think their weakness could potentially be Chet Holmgren. I think, look at his body type. He could be injury prone, but they're good enough. They could win without him. I mean, this team's an absolute juggernaut. They probably will finish with the best record in the league. They might give the Thunder a run for the 73-9 Warriors a run for their money. The NBA has just been weird lately. I mean, we haven't had a defending champion get even to the conference finals since 2019 when the Warriors were coming off back-to-back titles. In fact, we've had a streak of mostly teams losing in the second round after winning the championship. So it's just such a long season. You never know how it's going to play out come the springtime. I mean, I feel like even though no one's repeating lately, after each team wins, the media does this thing where they act like the team that just won is now invincible. Like I saw the Denver Nuggets win in 2023.
Oh, yeah.
And on the run of the title, there's a lot of criticism that they didn't face that tough of a road. Once they won it, though, I mean, next season the conversation was, well, I mean, I don't know if anyone can beat Denver. Then I saw my Celtics. They made a run to the finals. They had kind of an easy road, and they were criticized for it on the way there. The second they won, though, I mean, well, you know, Thunder, I don't know if they can beat Boston. And sure, these teams just flame out in the second round to an opponent that you never imagined.
No one overhypes more than NBA broadcasters, more than NBA analysts. I mean, how much do we have to hear about the Lakers and LeBron and Luka? And are they even really a threat? I feel like we're talking about them more than we're talking about the Thunder, and the Thunder are having one of the best seasons of all time. So
that's the crazy thing about the Thunder. It's like they're having this, they're the defending champs, they're 22-1, and it kind of seems like most people don't care. I saw a friend over Thanksgiving who is generally familiar with the NBA, but not following it year in, year out. And we watched the end of a Thunder game. Shea was getting interviewed. And I told him, I said, what would you say if I told you this guy is considered by some of the best player in the NBA right now? And he thought I was messing with him. He's like, who? What? How do you say that name? Who is this guy? I mean, I don't blame them. They're a group that just goes to work, does their job. They're not big talkers. And I mean, Oklahoma City, I mean, it's a truck stop city. It's just, I don't blame them for any of it. It's just the NBA has always been a league that's about sex appeal. And the Thunder, people just don't find that interesting. I mean, even the Spurs, I mean, they won 5 titles. Tim Duncan's one of the best to ever do it. People always said, oh, they're kind of boring. I don't know. We look for pizzazz in the NBA.
we do look for pizzazz, and I think they have the pizzazz. I think Adam Silver just really sucks at monetizing his superstars, because right now, you know, these guys that they're pumping they're too old. Let's get Wemby some more camera time. Let's get Shea some more camera time. Let's get Lucas some more camera time, and let's see these guys truly take over as the best in the NBA. I don't know. NBA has been off to a weird start this season. All right, let's move on to the next topic. This one's kind of a weird one. I'd kind of put you on this about the downfall of Candace Owens on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
It is happening in real time right now, and she cannot get enough of the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories. I mean, she has some wild accusations floating around Twitter right now. She is basically claiming, and to be honest, it's hard to follow her because she kind of sounds like your schizophrenic aunt. Like, she's really hard to follow. She thinks now that there's Egyptian planes that have coordinated trips to that area, and that they were sent from the French government, and that all the guys in the audience that were wearing maroon shirts were the ones involved. And she's fully convinced to the point where the Daily Wire and Turning Point USA had to come out and say, Candace, everything you're saying is not only wrong, but it's completely disrespectful to Charlie Kirk's death and his wife who's alive right now, and you need to stop. Candace then said to Turning Point, well, let's do a live debate. And you name the place, you name the time, and I will be there. And so Turning Point said, let's do it. So they named the time and they named the place. And then she completely bailed from the live debate. The reason being, she said her husband would not let her go because that it was a setup from Turning Point USA to assassinate her. So she's kind of going crazy. She's either 100% right, and we all should apologize to her for not listening to her, or she's just gone mad, like a legit mad person, or she's just like the queen of clicks on the internet, and she knows, and she's just kind of trolling everyone, which would be pretty messed up in this situation.
Yeah, there's a lot to pick apart. I mean, that one piece I didn't even really fully consider. It's like she operates in the same space that Charlie Kirk did. So if you're, you know, one of these kind of right-wing, you know, online debater characters who makes public appearances, I mean, I got to imagine Ben Shapiro is feeling the same way. It's like, I don't know if they've made many public appearances or the college appearances recently, but I don't know how you could do that without thinking of the assassination. It's probably the same as Trump or any other politician the first few times they went to a political rally after the assassination attempt. This is a crazy one because I feel like when I first saw Candace Owens, I mean, she just seems well put together. She's, you know, prepared for any debate. Just kind of seems like someone you should listen to, but it got off the rails fast when I was hearing about the maroon shirt theory. I mean, who knows? I never want to just knock someone for a good old-fashioned conspiracy theory because sometimes contrarians are right, and they're screaming at the top of their lungs and no one will listen. But I think that might have just been 3 college students wearing maroon shirts. I mean, it hit close to home. One of my favorite shirts is just a plain, block colored maroon shirt, and I've worn it many times. I don't want to imply anything by that. I mean, I wouldn't want to be implicated in something so serious just for wearing a nice, soft cotton maroon shirt. So I think she might be losing it. She may be losing it.
I think we need to keep our eyes on this story. And I think we need to give the viewers updates every week. I don't know if you guys are in the dark, deep depths of Twitter like I am with this story. And to be honest, I just enjoy the amount of almost scientific vigor that Candace Owen has for this. Like, she acts like she's just doing the most investigative journalism of all time. And I really just feel like it's people on Twitter just DMing her stuff. And so I think people are just trolling her. I don't know, though. Everything is allegedly. She might be completely right. I feel like if she listens to this, she might sue us.
Yeah.
And we really have nothing to do with this and could care less. So, hey, I hope you find what you're looking for.
I would love to have her on the pod if possible.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah.
I think she would be one of the best guests we've had yet on Lawn Chair Sports.
I completely agree.
I still think some people might vote Ferg as number one, though.
It's hard to top Ferg. I mean, love
Guys,
that guy.
I rewatched that episode. The guy is an absolute legend.
Oh, he's such a good dude.
Absolute sweetheart, too. All right. Another thing going on. This is kind of wild. Trump said at the FIFA World Cup kind of big event that went on that America should rename football. He said that soccer is actually and should be called football, and that America should change their stance on the name and call it football. Now, in classic politician form, he says we shouldn't do something, but doesn't give any suggestions for what we should do. Is Donald Trump off his rocker? Is this his worst take as a president?
It sounds crazy. He might just be onto something, because this is something that causes a lot of confusion globally. It's the most popular sport in the world. What we call soccer, the rest of the world calls football. We kind of like to just do our own thing. There's really not a lot of kicking involved in American football, even less so now. Kickers can make kicks from 70 yards out. Now teams don't want to do it anymore, which is crazy. I mean, we made some crazy name changes in sports before, just in the past handful of years. I mean, the Washington franchise changed their name after a years-long debate. And if I remember correctly, Donald Trump, he was a very influential figure pushing for that change. So I think he's kind of trying to facilitate another name change in sports. I think it could make a lot of sense, clear a lot of things up.
Again, though, I've yet to hear your suggestion for what it should be called.
Yeah. So we could just go pigskin. I mean, you would keep the essence of the ball. We do refer to football as a pigskin.
Americans love pork and bacon.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Pigskin, but it could be just a bad idea to have the word skin in the name of sport. So maybe we should stay away from that. Or what if it was something that describes the action? Like,
I like boom it ball.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like smash.
Smash ball.
Smash ball.
Yeah.
Smash ball.
Smash ball, boom it ball, blockhead ball.
At the end of the day, we love it because it's just guys running really hard into each other. I mean,
it's modern day Roman Coliseum, man. I mean, we're watching people literally get CTE every single week. And I don't know if anyone was watching the game that Brady called, and I think it was the Bears
Green
game.
Bay, yeah.
It was Bears Green Bay. And the Chicago Bears running back went through the hole, and the Green Bay linebacker met them. And they smashed at probably the equivalent of like a 70-mile-per-hour car crash head-to-head. And one of the helmet pieces kind of flew off because it was so cold. Brady almost just like wet himself. He was so excited. He was like, oh, that's football. Oh, the helmets are so cold. Oh, when the helmets. And then Brady tried to give us a scientific explanation of what happens to cold helmets. He's like, when the helmet gets cold, the inside starts to shrink, and then the whole helmet starts to shrink. And then when it's shrunk and it's cold, and then it hits another thing that's shrunk and cold, then it just bursts. And I'm like, I don't think any of that's true. And actually, if you watch it back, it wasn't the helmet that burst. It was the little piece of his visor that he had that covers his helmet. So, Brady, you're a dumbass, and you shouldn't be getting paid $100 million to announce football games. I know that was kind of a full loop from Trump talking about the name being changed to Brady sucking, but I like that.
No, I think those are the rough, big smashes, big hits that really, that's why people love football, and it just dominates in the ratings. I mean, Brady, he was getting after in the booth. He was fired up. That's what makes it the best sport to watch.
It is. I feel bad for these guys, though, because they're literally all going to get CTE. I mean, it's been proven. The studies show 95% of football players who've played for longer than 8 years of college football, or football, doesn't even have to be professional, have shown CTE when the brains get donated to the concussion research program that's doing it. So very scary stuff, especially considering I played football for 13 years. So, Andy, I don't know how much longer this podcast can go on, or flip side, the podcast might get way more entertaining in a couple of years here.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a market for, former athletes with CT in media. For example, I don't know if you ever watched the Fox pregame show, but Terry Bradshaw is absolutely electric on that panel. I mean, he's just a ball of surprises. You never know what he's going to say. He just brings so much joy. I don't think he's had a coherent thought since probably 2011-ish, but he's great. I mean, I don't ever want to see him retire.
No, and it's never good when Terry Bradshaw makes Howie Long look like he's normal, because he also definitely has CTE, but compared to Terry Bradshaw, I mean, this guy's making the best arguments I've ever heard.
Howie Long holds it together.
Oh, he holds the whole thing together.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's their baseline is Howie Long. That's not a good baseline. That's not a normal person baseline. I mean, you bring in someone there who just is fully with it. They're like, guys, you're all completely wrong, right? They also have Gronk on there, who my favorite thing that they did to him was when they pranked him with the fake tight end, and he just went along with it. Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you these media guys do no research. They don't watch all the games like us, and then they just say whatever they want. No, it's great. It's absolutely awesome. I mean, I would always wonder, how do these guys have time to watch all the games? They act like they have a developed take on every single team, and they don't. They have no idea what they're talking about. But nothing. They basically just get paid to show up at a certain time wearing a suit. It's pretty funny. I know we didn't do any of our classic segments, but anything you want to touch on? What's on top of the mind? I don't know. I think we covered a good amount today. We really did. Yeah, honestly, not to get ahead of ourselves, I'm pretty stoked for this Pats-Bills clash next weekend. Yes. I mean, that's what's on the top of mind. Okay, so we actually, glad you brought that up. We'll have another pod this week. So we will. Maybe let's save it. We're going to make a new bet, though, for this week. Sure. Because I still have not worn a Brady jersey. That's a good point. So you got to hold me to that. Right. And I think we should do a big bet. And I think we should make this kind of a thing, maybe make some videos poking back and forth at each other. But I think there needs to be something serious that's going to affect our daily lives. Maybe temporarily, but something big. Yeah. So I think you got the right idea. If you guys have any good ideas, drop in the comments, send us a DM. We want to know, what should me and Andy bet on for Bills versus Patriots this upcoming Sunday? We want to hear from you guys. But thanks for tuning in. You guys have been amazing once again. Andy, say goodbye to the fellas. Thanks again for hanging with us. Love doing the show, and we'll be at it again real soon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Might stay hot, no stopping, no flopping. Lawn chair sports where the chat runs wild. Pull up, tune in. It's the podcast style.